Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Smishek's Custom Baits. Rick Smishek here. Today, this is the first video that I shoot in my room at the shelter. I have a roommate now, but he knows the door's closed. He knows what I'm doing here, so we shouldn't have any interruptions there. He's a good guy, uh, and he has a lot of respect for things like this. So today, we're going to continue the conversation on the book Knowing Bass. This chapter on chapter 6. It's part 2. Again, I'll be referring to my notes. Make sure I get things right. Don't want to forget things. I do rehearse this 2 or 3 times before I start. So, but today we're keep talking about the bass, their senses of how they, for the skin, how they detect temperatures and whatnot. Bass have many free nerve endings in their skin, like we talked about last week, like humans do too. Their skin is quite sensitive to touch and pressure, and their mouths are very sensitive. This probably explains why or how bass can tell the difference between a hard plastic lure and a soft plastic. The retention times, average retention times for a hard plastic crankbait is 1/4 of a second. Not much, is it? Soft plastics, the average retention time is several times that. So with soft plastics, we have a better chance of detecting the strike and setting the hook before the bass spits it out. So, and I've wondered after I read that in the book, I wondered if that 1/4 of a second retention time is why there's 2 or at least 2 treble hooks on a crankbait, and sometimes we have jerk baits have 3. I wonder if that's why, to increase our chances to hook the fish that takes that hard plastic lure. I suspect it has at least something to do with it. Fish have long been known to be able to detect rapid changes in temperature. Okay, what most people probably don't know is that sunfish, which bass are a member of that family, can detect changes of as little as 1/5 of a degree Fahrenheit. So when we're fishing, we shouldn't ignore those small temperature changes from one spot to the next. If we're catching fish, say where a fish finder says it's 84 degrees, and we go to the next spot and it says it's 83 degrees, and we're not catching anything, everything else looks great, right? Everything else. I mean, maybe the visually the 2 spots look identical, but the difference is one temperature could be just that 1 degree in temperature, and so maybe we need to move to another spot that looks identical plus has that exact same temperature, because that can make a difference. I was surprised. This is one of the things that I was surprised by when I read the book. I was like, wow, really? Okay, I guess so, right? So hopefully this is a little factoid that will help all of us, including myself, become better bass fishermen. When it comes to sensing pH, bass will avoid highly acidic waters, but their ability to detect small changes in the pH gradient is questionable. We just don't have enough information on that yet to say how well they can do that, or if they can do it. So hopefully, as people keep doing research, we'll see that's whether or not they can actually do that, because we're learning new stuff all the time. Bass can also detect high concentrations of CO2 in the water, and they avoid it like the plague, probably because they don't want to get asphyxiated. Now, they obviously don't think like that, but they understand instinctively that that's not a good environment for them, so they leave. Bass can also they can also only control their body temperature in the same way that like reptiles can, by moving. Bass move to warmer or cooler water depending on what they need, and like lizards and snakes, they'll lay on roads, like especially blacktop asphalt or rocks that are out in the sun, whatever, to increase their body temperature, and they will go to the shade or into the water even to reduce their body temperatures. So, so we can see that fish do the same things, right? In northern waters, well, bass in general love heat. They love the warm water. In northern waters, though, they're rarely in water temperature in their preferred range. The waters just don't get warm enough for that. But they can acclimate to cooler temperatures. In southern waters, other factors other than water temperature will cause them to leave, to move before they exceed their temperature tolerance. Things like oxygen levels, pH levels. Maybe the water's too turbid. Yeah, I'll skip that. In northern waters, because they can acclimate to cooler water, maybe in a given body of water, maybe the best they can get is 75 to 80 degrees. Okay, well, once they've acclimated to that body of water and the seasons there, they don't continually run around looking or swim around looking for that preferred temperature range of 86 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit. They just don't do that. Preferred temperature ranges are not constant through the seasons either. In winter, those preferred temperature ranges are a lot cooler than they are in the summer. Well, for obvious reasons. The water just isn't that warm anymore. In fact, it's generally pretty darn cold. When bass acclimate to warmer water, their metabolism increases, and so does their need for food. Okay, as they acclimate to a certain temperature, and they've been eating, with their increase in metabolism, they will look for even warmer water, and that cycle continues until they reach that preferred temperature range of 86 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, which is different from their tolerance of almost freezing to 90 degrees. Okay, this is the preferred range where their metabolism is most efficient. This is where the bass has enough energy for body maintenance, for healing, for growth, while also having enough energy left over to chase prey. It's better to chase prey when the energy advantage is in your corner. Okay. Cooler waters, bass are probably more likely to set up an ambush and just eat whatever comes by, as opposed to swimming around, sometimes in packs, hunting prey, actively going out hunting prey. So next week we will do part 3 of chapter 6, and we're halfway done with chapter 6 now, so there'll be 2 more parts, 3 and 4. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. It's been very informative to me, and I hope you guys will find it to be informative to you as well. So if you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That helps the channel out a ton. And until next time, folks, tight lines, calm waters, and God bless.